Right now we're going to show you the highlight video from the middle school mission trip to Kenosha, Wisconsin. And whenever you see text on the screen in quote marks, that means that someone from our group said that in our journaling time that we did on our last night. So here it is. I'd like to invite the middle school group to come up on the steps. And if you're sharing, if you could stand in front of the rest of the group, that'd be great. So top step for the... So I asked a few people to share from our group just to hear about our experiences, the type of work we did, where they saw God and things like that. So Ella's going to get us started.
Okay, so every day that we were in Kenosha, my crew went to a nursing home called Azura Memory Care, and they care for people specifically with dementia and Alzheimer's. And so basically we just got to interact with them, and we got to sing with them and play bingo and just have a great time. And one way that I saw God was through the people in my crew, because they were just so happy and welcoming and caring for the people that were there.
I enjoy going to the nursing homes every day and playing bingo with them and singing with them. And I saw God through the residents there because they were so open to talk to us.
I went to the Kenosha Senior Center. I learned that seniors are really good at trivia. And I saw their faith in the resurrection.
All right. I also was in the group for the Azura Memory Care, and there we talked with the residents there, played games, bingo, crafts, sang with them, and it was just neat hearing people's stories and just being there with them and just seeing the difference in that way.
Our group went to Hospitality House Nursing and Rehabilitation Centers, so we had people that were long-term in the nursing home facility. Many of them were in wheelchairs and couldn't navigate themselves in the wheelchair. And I just really, that was a place I think we could all say that we saw a lot of fragility and dependence in that place. And we were forced during that time to take time with people. I hate saying that, but that's what it was. We were forced to take time and get to know people. And that's what really touched me, is we just need to take time to talk with people. I had my sister and her family here this weekend, and I think, did I really take time to talk to the boys? And my brother-in-law. Anyhow, I think that our group came together, and I saw God in our group, and we got pushed out of our comfort zone, and we realized our reliance on God, because we couldn't always give people what they wanted. We could not make them happy. And so I really felt that. Thanks,
Thanks, everybody. As you can tell, everybody worked at a senior care center from our group. We had 3 different groups that did that, and so it was just really stretching in that kind of way, but our group also got really involved in helping worship. I mean, my youth leaders are a band, so there's that. And then we had a lot of kids. Maddie played bass on a song, and a lot of the kids got up front to sing in front of a group of 100 people. So that was really neat to see them do that. A lot of kids led devotions for their crew, and just had a lot of great experiences to grow and be challenged in their faith. So we just want to thank you for your support, for always encouraging the youth, and just feel free to grab some of these students afterwards, because a lot of them don't want to get on a microphone to talk, but they'll tell you a bunch of stories about things that happened. So thanks. the way up if you're not talking. In front if you are. So hard to put this trip into words. We're going to try. But some of these students are ready to share just things that they took away from the trip. So, Caitlin, get us started.
So on every mission trip, we have a debriefing at the end of the week where we write in our journals. And on this mission trip, I decided to write about forming deeper relationships with people. And what I mean by deeper relationships is talking about my faith more openly with my friends and other people.
Something that I learned in Alaska was every morning we got about 30 minutes of quiet time, just like go wherever we want in the camp and just like look at nature. And sometimes we got a Bible verse to read. And one of them was Jesus talking to two men. And he was saying they don't get what they ask from God because they ask with the wrong motives. And I took away from that because sometimes I feel that I ask things for God with the wrong motive. So ever since then, I've been trying to do better with that.
In quiet time every morning, we just gotta kind of sit to ourselves and like reflect on what God was telling us in the Bible. And something I wanted to take home with me was be more sincere with my prayers. And I feel like it's something that would be good for me to do.
Yeah, I was asked to share about like what we did on the trip and how that like impacted me. We had to pretty much do manual labor the whole time, if you can see. Like we had to chop wood, a lot of wood, and clear brush and clean cabins pretty much the whole time. And that was pretty much physically exhausting and mentally exhausting. So that really like pushed us to the limit and helped us like see God in like our worst state or like lowest state, I guess. I don't know, but it was good.
Yeah, so as Brad said, we had a lot of physical labor we were doing most of the time, and I just noticed that as a community, Zion Reform, there's just a lot of support. Somebody described in the video, it's the best fellowship group they've seen in a while. So I feel like with our group and the Alaskan community, everybody's just so close-knit and put together very well, and they're all helping and caring. And it's like Aaron described it perfectly. He said, miserable work with other people is so much better, and I'm thinking about that. Everybody can agree. Chopping wood out there all by myself, that's something I would probably never do. So the Zion Reformed Youth Group and everybody that supported us and donated is very helpful and very warming and comforting.
So I was asked to talk about the fun things we did. Really, the whole trip in general was super fun. Usually by the end, I'm like, I'm so ready to go home. Like, I want my own bed. But this, I was like really sad I didn't want to go home because it was so fun. But just to highlight a couple of the things that were fun, as you can see from the pictures, we went to a glacier. And like the whole time leading up to the glacier, I'm like, what is a glacier? Like, I know it's big ice, but like, it's really hard to put into words like once you're there. But it was absolutely beautiful. One of the most incredible things that I've ever done. A little bit scary because our kids just kind of like take off and you can definitely like hurt yourself and even die on a glacier, but it was really, really beautiful. So that was one of the fun things we did. We went on 3 different hikes at night that were definitely really hard for some of us. Some of the kids ran up the mountain, but just so beautiful when you get up there and just see God's nature. Definitely one of the biggest things for the trip for a lot of us was just seeing God's nature. And even us leaders one night, me, Sean, and Shanda, just went up by ourselves and just sat up there for like an hour and talked. So that was really fun. Let's see. We went on a bush plane. It happened to be my birthday that day, so that was probably the best birthday I'll ever have. But that was incredible. Like seeing, like flying close to the mountains, and then you got to like see bears just roaming around, doing their thing on the ground. We saw goats, sheep, moose. So that was really cool. And then you just got to see like the river that like ran through the whole valley, like from up above. And then you got to see the glacier too. That just went on for miles, which was really cool because we got to hike the glacier, but then we got to see like a different side of the glacier from up above. One night we got to do fireside, which is something we did every night. It's kind of like our debrief / devotion time. We got to do that right by the river, which was really awesome, very peaceful. What was that thing, the wagon or the river buggy or whatever. There was a couple of pictures of that, but that was an experience and super fun. And then, the last day we got to just like hang out in Anchorage and just experience their culture and just kind of shop around. And so yeah, the whole trip was really fun. Thanks for all your support. We couldn't have done the trip and the fun things without you guys. So
awesome. As Brad said, we did like 3 different projects around the camp. So one group was the brush crew, one group was the cleaning and kind of odd jobs crew, and one was the wood pile. So the wood pile, well, let me start with the cleaning crew. The cleaning crew, their job was cleaning, painting,